Hello. Welcome to the Learning Clues course activity LC test. We're going to be discussing the question, why is the Arctic warming faster than the tropics? My goal is to help you deepen your understanding of this topic in a supportive environment. Please let me know when you are ready to get started.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's begin. To start, what are your initial thoughts on why the Arctic is warming faster than the tropics? What factors do you think contribute to this phenomenon? Don't worry if you're not sure. Just share whatever comes to mind.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that the Arctic is covered in ice and the tropics are covered in trees.
That's a great starting point. The difference in surface cover between the Arctic ice and the tropics tree/vegetation is definitely relevant. How do you think the presence of ice versus trees might influence how each region absorbs or reflects sunlight and heat?
Well, I think ice reflects sunlight and trees absorb sunlight, but that doesn't explain why the Arctic might be warming faster.
You're exactly right about ice reflecting sunlight and trees absorbing it. That concept is key. What do we call the measure of how much a surface reflects sunlight? This will help connect your observation to the warming phenomenon.
I think from class I remember that is albedo.
Yes, exactly. Albedo is the measure of how much sunlight a surface reflects. Now, consider the Arctic's ice and snow cover, which has a high albedo. What happens as the Arctic warms and some of that ice and snow melts? How does that affect the albedo and, in turn, the warming rate?
I'm not sure. I think that the Arctic might get less solar energy than the tropics. That might be another factor as well.
That's a valid point to consider. It's true that the Arctic receives less direct sunlight than the tropics due to the Earth's curvature and angle of incidence. While this difference in solar energy does play a role in the overall temperature difference between the regions, it doesn't fully explain why the Arctic is warming faster. Let's revisit the albedo concept for a moment. How does the melting of ice and snow in the Arctic affect the region's albedo? And how might that influence the rate of warming? Try to connect the dots between melting ice, albedo, and warming.
I'm not really sure. I think I'd just like to submit my final answer now.
Okay, I understand. So you'd like to submit your answer now. Just to be clear, your current answer includes the points that the Arctic is covered in ice, and the tropics are covered in trees. Ice reflects sunlight, high albedo, and trees absorb sunlight. The Arctic receives less direct sunlight than the tropics. Do you want to add anything else before submitting, or do you want to submit as is? Let me know.
No, submit as is.
I have scored your answer according to the instructor's rubric. Now I'd like to ask you a final question for this assignment. What, if anything, did you find difficult about this assignment? This will help improve the activity for future learners.